Glad you're with me today. I've got a word that we want to talk about, but it involves three things. It's amusing, embarrassing, and exposing. All right? And it's the word self. S-E-L-F. I got to put this in some kind of perspective. I'm 75 years old. I have never looked up the word self. This is my first time ever looking in the dictionary at the word self. I always thought that when you talked about self, it went with something like myself, yourself, himself. I didn't know self was a word by itself. Here's what it means. Self is a person's typical bodily makeup or personal characteristics. Their personality, character, temperament, identity, temper, disposition, individuality. Because my question is, how do you feel about self? How do you feel about you? When you think of you, does it bring you joy or does it cause you anxiety? What do you think of self, which is your self? And then there's myself. But it's not simply myself, it's my self. I think I'm confusing myself. But the truth of the matter is, how do you feel about you? How do you see you? What's your value? What's your impact on people? We're not talking about a whole society. Let's just look at what's your impact on your circle of friends or relatives who are important to you. But how do you feel about self? Let's listen to what God says about us. How does God see us? Because I love a quote. It says, until you get your own words, you use the words of others. Until you can formulate your own opinion, maybe you have to reside on how others see you, or let them help you see how valuable you really are. Because you have to define your self. In Isaiah 43:4, it says, since you are precious and honored in my sight, and because I love you, I will give people in exchange for you, nations in exchange for your life. In God's eyes, we're precious and honored. But how do you see you? If self, yours, stood before you, how do you see you? Do you see yourself as a person who can make a difference? Or when you think about you, when you think about yourself, do you see everything that connotes negativity? How do you see you? Because the truth of the matter is, God can see in you what you can't. God knows things about you you don't know. Sometimes you simply have to trust what God sees in you to determine who you are. Because none of us are perfect. None of us have it all together. None of us have all of the answers. But the truth of the matter is, it's very difficult when you want people to see you in a way you don't see yourself. I'm reminded of when they sent the 12 spies into Canaan to see if they could go in and conquer it. They came back with this report. Oh, we can't win. We can't win. Ain't any of us going up in there because they see us as grasshoppers. Do you simply see yourself as other people see you? Or have you been honest enough with yourself to see who yourself really is? We have to have discernment when to listen to others with character who can help us, and when not to listen to others who are just full of negativity about who we really are. Were you like me? Had you ever looked up the word self? Because I have never looked it up. And yet, it was enlightening to me today. Take a chance on trusting who you are and trusting your self. Think about it.